Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report. A lot of athletes believe their value is only tied to wins and losses, but I believe that branding and visibility can drastically change an athlete's career, especially when they're performing on a major league organization. My guest today helps athletes exactly with that. Chance, the Milkman Cretsinger.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing,
Crushed.
brother?
Good, man. Just been nonstop building brands and helping fighters out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, can you kind of talk on that a little bit? Just kind of give us a rundown of what it is you do, how you help fighters, how you help them with branding, and kind of what it is that your services offer.
Yeah, so when I started, I was a MMA fighter 90% of my life, or a fighter. Had over 150 fights. I'm retired now, and after retirement, I was, trying to get my feel of it without fighting. And when I was an amateur fighter, I was living in my car, broke, like every fighter right now. And then I started understanding social media, branding, marketing. My coach gave me the nickname the Milkman because I was the whitest boy, inner city boxing club. So, like, I would like shine when the lights were on me. So I ended up leaning into that, started wearing a hat, the Milkman hat, bow tie, threw milk cartons to the crowd, ran it. And because of that, I was able to make over $3,000 a month every month for direct deposits from sponsors from everywhere. And that was all due to like promoting, posting on social media, and you know building an actual brand rather than just asking for sponsors and handouts, which that's what I do now. I was making highlight reels all the time for fighters to help them build their brand exposure, but now I'm leaning more towards actual social media management, brand growth, helping them with sponsors, all that stuff. Because right now, there's a lot of fighters that are just like either signing with a shady manager, thinking that's the way they got to go to get paid. When in reality, the manager's not going to do anything for you but help negotiate a contract or maybe get you a fight in the local promotion. Um, I always got all my own fights as a fighter. So with this community I've been building, I started off with 14 people about 2 months ago. They have blown up. Like, I mean, one guy got over 2 million views. He has like 1,600 followers, found his brand, his niche online, and just been running with it. I've All these guys are finding out what their like actual uniqueness is to promote on social media, which is so crucial in MMA. If you don't have that, like, I mean, you're kind of like one of those cookie cutter, same old fighters, generic fighter. You're never going to get paid and never will get noticed. So, long story short, I help fighters build their brand, post on social media, and get sponsorships
Gotcha.
without
Okay.
signing contracts.
So a lot to unpack there, but I think one of the things that you touched on is a lot of athletes really don't know where to begin, and I think you see a lot of
Mhm.
athletes really they're not really asking for sponsorship. What they're asking for is a donation because they're
Yes.
really not offering anything in return for that. And
No.
I think what you see is when you have two athletes, even let's just say they're identical skill level here, like they're same records, same everything on paper. Guys
Hmm.
are pretty much like cookie cutter versions of each other, but one of them has that following and they can
Yep.
provide some return on investment to a sponsor, somebody like I don't know, Dude Wipes, for instance, somebody that's kind
Yeah.
of trying to own some equity in that space. When you have
Hmm.
two identical fighters, one has a following, one doesn't, the fighter with the following is going to get
Following's
the
gonna win.
opportunity. Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. So can you kind of speak on that a little bit? How do you help athletes kind of differentiate themselves from being just another fighter?
Yeah. So every fighter in the group, like, I have over 140 something guys in the group now. So it's a lot. So I'm always like talking to them, working. I always post these daily templates every day. Like, it's kind of just something to get out there, get them posting every day. Cause a lot of these guys don't want to post on social media. That's just how fighters are right now. And they just keep making these little posts like, hey, DM me for sponsor opportunities, or the cutouts of their shorts, it's like $800 to be on this cheek, or like 1,000 on my crotch. Those don't mean anything. Like, shorts and banner logos are absolutely obsolete anymore in today's,
Right.
like, it's like newspaper. But a lot of these guys don't want to post on social media, and they don't get sponsors because that's all they want to promote. Like, they don't understand that posting on social media shows you're a marketable athlete, and that is going to be more likely to get a sale than saying DM me for opportunities, here's my shorts.
Right.
And The difference between what I'm doing with what a lot of other guys are doing, a lot of these guys are putting like, oh yeah, $5,000 training camp, 2,000, like a big lump sum. And it just says, oh yeah, I'll post you once a month. Doesn't cut it. I switched the guys up to monthly income. So the businesses see, a lower number and it's a lot more reasonable and they're not going to lose out. Because every company I've talked to, like I actually have to call these guys and talk on the phone about how I can help them with their profit for what they're doing. Nobody wants to sponsor fighters anymore. Like not a single one, because they get the same DMs every day about sponsors. That is like a word of a charitable donation with no return on value. Um, I get my guys posting actively. So if they're not posting 3 to 5 times a week, they are invisible. That's just facts. With the new Meta AI system and Instagram and Facebook, if you are not doing at least 3 to 5 a week and switching up rather than just posting one photo every day, you will literally be invisible because the algorithm won't show you. If you post maybe once a month, you are technically called a follower, or is what it's called, and then you got the content creators. That's why you see them on the algorithm all the time. That's why those guys get sponsors all the time. So social media is literally the tool that nobody wants to use. They're just like, oh, I don't like it, I'm just gonna fight. Which if you do that, you're never gonna make it, because that's why the UFC, every time there's a fight, like a big fight, they have a backstory of the fighters. You know what I mean? It's like connection. They want to connect with the fighters. That's part of advertising, and that's how you build your audience, is connection, rather than posting a highlight clip or you just flexing in the mirror saying fight time, with no,
Right.
and maybe wearing with a faux hawk and some gladiator shorts. That's about your only uniqueness. You'll never get paid. No one will notice you, because everyone in the world, there's millions of fighters, and there's some dogs out there.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, we get the messages all the time on our account too. People asking, like, hey, sponsor us. Like, we'll like you said, we'll offer you
Give you a shout out
like,
on my shorts.
yeah, real estate on the shorts. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, really, what value does that provide when the stream is going to be behind a paywall and there's only going to be, less than
Not
500 people in
filmed.
attendance, and they're all going to be local to one state. It's just not really worth the return on investment. But
Mm-hmm.
what you're basically telling guys is, there's a difference between borrowed attention and owned attention. You're asking guys to own their attention, basically, instead of everybody gets that 6 seconds where they put the mic in front of your face and you say, hey, thanks for promotion, thank you to
Yep.
my opponent, and da 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 da. But that's borrowed attention versus you owning it each and every
Mm-hmm.
day, where you can put the phone in your face and reach your
Yep.
audience. So I mean, what do you think is the most important thing for guys to do to own that attention, to kind of differentiate themselves, as opposed to borrowing attention where they get on the mic and I don't know if you've seen Aaron Hughes with the
That's bro.
I
That's
came
my
here
boy.
to throw bombs and bang moms. I'm all
I
done throwing
gave him
bombs.
that nickname, bro. Yeah.
Beautiful
I told him to run with that after his video. Like,
it's beautiful
yeah,
line. Beautiful line right there. I mean, if
marketing 101.
we'll plug it right here.
Shout out everyone who came out from Fall River. I sold 100 tickets. Let's fucking go. Let's get drunk. Hey, real quick. Hey, I came to throw bombs and bang moms, and I'm all done throwing bombs. So where the moms at?
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, I mean, that was a great way to capitalize on your borrowed attention, but to own the attention is something totally different. So I mean, what do you encourage guys to do to own that attention?
Bro, that was exactly what I was going to bring up, because Aaron was one of the first guys I started working with. Like, he was posting every day, posting some stuff, but he was posting like a generic fighter, not like what you have to do. You have to kind of own it online. You got to own who you are, your brand, your uniqueness. Like Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, all those guys, they had some uniqueness to them. Maybe a character. Like me, when I talk, I just don't care what people think. So I'm very squirrely ADHD, but I will say what I say and I'll do it and I'll just say it to the world. Like, that's just me. That's my connection. Aaron was getting upset because he wasn't doing good numbers. He kept doing the same templates, but he wasn't really like mixing it up. Like I tell the guys to do the template, but also add your own like personality flair. Because if you don't have that, it's just kind of a video. That video blew up. I saw it, and I messaged him that night. It was like 800,000 views. I'm like, bro, we're gonna make, because I actually got a team sponsor for all the guys in the group chat, 4 of them. As long as they're posting, they make T-shirts and whatnot. So I don't know if you've seen his T-shirt. Have you seen it? His new shirt yet?
No, not his most recent one. No.
I'll send you the link. It's basically my quote I found, but I told him to run with it, and I was like, bro, you need to make a shirt that says like throwing bombs, banging moms. He was nervous about it, but I just sent it to the T-shirt company. Some guy today, right before I got on this call, bought 10 of those shirts in one order. Like it's like I was like, bro, like that's you. That's what you got to do every time. Like even when he sells tickets, like why saying, yeah, buy my tickets. They're $75. Yeah, support me. Be like, yeah, bring your mom. Something at the end, like to keep
Or don't.
like don't stop doing the thing that works. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
you got to mix it up, but like you gotta keep doing the things that work for you. That's what I tell everyone. Every single guy's target audience is different. I can't tell you who you are until you find it, but the way you find it, you have to just keep trying things out, posting every day. Some of these guys are so worried, they're like, oh no, it's not good content. I'm like, I really don't give a single fuck. You just got to post it. If you
Right.
post every day, one of them is gonna hit. Like I had one fighter hit 2 million views off a video of his child trying to lift a bar, and Sports Center hit him up. He has like 1,000 followers.
All right.
And now he's got like 5 sponsors, literally, like just from posting every day. And he posts that, and yeah, he's at 2 million views. Sports Center actually like hit him up to use it, and Aaron just found his viral video. I have another guy, Tedrick Macklin. That dude started his whole own series, like a video series in the gym of him just talking shit, like to guys he's sparring, like his teammates. And it's hilarious and people love it. And it's getting like 20, 30,000 views. He's got a bunch of sponsors now. I have one guy that just posts meme videos, like videos of him fighting, but it's like, you know, the memes with all the stuff that text up top. He got like 1.8 million views in the first 3 weeks. It's literally everyone's different. Every algorithm for you is different. You just got to find your target audience and run with it. You know, it's a fan base.
Absolutely. And I think what encourages people, or what might be encouraging to people, is if your video only gets 200 views, that just means nobody saw it. So the way the
Still
algorithm
got
kind of
200 people seeing it though.
right, but I mean, let's say it is bad content. Let's say it sucks. The way the algorithm kind of works is if people are engaging with it, more people are going to see it. But if it's bad content, nobody's really going to see it. So I mean, it's really not the end of the world. People aren't going to like
try it.
They're not going to like judge you based off of this. Nobody saw it really.
Yeah.
So I guess let's go back to Aaron Hughes here. For those that don't know, he stood out with an absolutely incredible interview. It was everywhere. It was on Morning Combat. Luke Thomas talked about it. I think it might have been on Sports Center. It was everywhere.
Dude, that's insane.
He finishes his opponent, gets on the mic. He says, I came here to throw bombs and bang moms. I'm all done throwing bombs. Where the mom's at? I'm not taking my mom to his fight. I'm just throwing that out there. But
that's hilarious.
It raises the question: is it more important to be this undefeated fighter, or to just be memorable? Like, I mean, if you're the guy that's knocking people dead on the card, that's great. But I mean, do people really remember that?
No, like CM Punk got to the UFC with no fights. But there are so many people in the world, dude. Like I've had 150 fights, traveled the world, seen some guys that don't have social media, but they are freak. They'd murder most of the guys in my area, everyone. Like, you know what I mean? The world's like trillions of people. The local scene where I'm at, like I was coaching here and I was trying to do this there, but these guys did not want to get out of their local bubble, travel. Like when I was fighting, I used to invest to go fight over to Vegas. I wasn't getting paid. I was an amateur, but I invested, raised money through sponsors to go fight on national television just because I knew it was going to build my name. Even if I lost, like it's just that far away effect. You got to do things differently than like just fight the local, be the local hero fighting all the tomato cans with a padded record. If you're not fighting outside of your local circle, nobody cares who you are. And you got to make them care. So social media is the greatest tool. Like you don't have to go travel far. You can just start talking trash on the camera. As long as you're genuine, it's hitting a certain amount of people, you'll start making monthly sponsors. You'll start connecting with people. And that's why I started the group chat. Like I started with 14 people. I now have 140 something fighters, UFC fighters, fighters from over in the UK, different time zone, Canada, Brazil, Cuba. And every time we make a post, we share it into the group, and every one of the guys likes, reposts, and comments. So when you get 100 guys doing that all at once on one video, it just mass boom, like boosts it. And because of them posting every day and being consistent, like every time I open my phone, they collab and tag me. I get like 100+ notifications every morning now, so it's kind of hard to go through. But they've all got sponsors. Literally in the first month, every single guy doing the instructions. Like I'm talking amateur fighters with 400 followers. They're posting every day. The UFC guys, I have 10 UFC fighters that all are like, "Oh yeah, we're in the UFC. We deserve these sponsors." But like no one knows really who they are. Like, yeah, you're in the UFC, but do people really know you outside of like a certain group? You know, like Conor McGregor was well known because he said what he wanted, he made a name. You can't just be a good fighter. Like, that's cool. Like, yeah, everyone can fight now. It's 2026. The game evolves other from the days when guys just were like tough guy syndrome. One's a Muay Thai guy, one's a wrestler, jiu-jitsu. Everyone can do everything. Everyone's a black belt. Everyone can kickbox. It's like a whole different game. You have to approach things differently if you really want to do this. It's a, you know, so if you don't have any marketability to you, UFC ain't gonna sign you. And all these guys saying Dana at the end of their fights when they're fighting like the local ding dong who fights for paychecks, just knocks him out in 22 seconds, calls for Dana. All of his friends tag Dana. Like, you're never going to get a fight with Dana. That's the worst marketing tool ever. It's like basically
Right.
saying, hey, take me. I'm 6-0.
Right. You're not going to stand out by doing what everybody else does. I mean, that's just, marketing
Yeah, be
101 right
unique,
here.
man.
Right. Absolutely.
I went all out with my Milkman stuff. And that's why the one time I was on I was on the local TV show or whatever in my area for my pro debut. The guy who was also doing an interview with me, he was just wearing in, dressed up. I came in with my whole Milkman shirt with my logo, and I pulled out my hat, pulled out my bow tie, had milk cartons I gave to the news people. Like I was trying to be like that. Like that's me as a person trying to be funny, like just naturally, not trying to force something or fit in. I guess you got to be that guy that stands out. If you don't stand out, it's very hard to get sponsors and very hard to find big fights. And this game, it's like it doesn't matter how good you are. You can be some guy. That's why if you look at the Contender Series, these guys have 3 to 4 fights and they get in there. They just have a following. They're marketable. They're explosive. Rather than this guy with a padded record with 10-0 against guys with 2-30 records. Which is my hometown area. They're probably gonna see this and talk trash, but that's mainly what I talk about. I call them out. I'm in Iowa. Like we used to be good back in the day. I was the only fighter really to actually like expand outside of Iowa, especially as an amateur. I was big on being the first at doing everything I did. So when I was like 18, 19, I heard about Tough Enough, if you know that show in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That was when Facebook was just kind of starting in like 2013. And I obsessively spazzed out, just wouldn't leave the promoter's Facebook page alone until they got me a fight. And I got a fight on the Tough Enough Pack the Mac show. It's still a world record to this day because they gave out free tickets at the UNLV Arena. It's like 14,000 something people. I was 19, flew out there, raised my own money, lost, got kind of cut weight like a dingleberry, and the guy wrestled me to the ground. Everyone booed, sucked. Went back out there a year later, fought again, won, got my face broken. But the second time after winning that fight, everyone thought I was some superstar, even though I was still broke. I was the only one that left Iowa, that far away effect. Because I knew, like, the marketing, like, if you leave where you're at, people automatically think you made it, even if you didn't make it. You got to pretend you're there. That's what you got to do on social media. You got to pretend you're already this professional, savage, top-tier guy. Like, I fought on the Olympic kickboxing team, too, and I mean, it was self-funded, which sucked. I had to raise $5,000 to go fight, like in every tournament, because you weren't funded by the government. But I always did that and raised it, and I got experience traveling the world, and people thought I was like top tier, even if I lost. Like I fought somewhere in a different country that other guys and I weren't doing. So that's how you get your name out. And I wanted to be more than just a local hero. I wanted to be like worldwide known, nationally. It was like, how did I start? I wanted to be the champion at every local promotion. Then I wanted to expand to like the whole nation, and then I wanted to travel the world and fight, which I did. I think I collected every single belt and amateur belt when I was an amateur in Iowa. Beat all the guys, never defended them, then moved on. I still have them all. They all hate me. All the promoters do because you're supposed to give them back. Fuck that. Why would I defend the belt for free? You know, I'm not getting paid. I'm gonna collect that.
Well, fair enough. Well, since we've kind of talked about a lot here, but I guess my final question for you would be, we've talked about how athletes can grow and how they can get their name out there, how you kind of fake it till you make it, but that actually is how you get your name out there and gain exposure is to kind of
100%.
travel to faraway lands and try and gather some
Fake it till you make it.
some loot and come back home with it. So
Mhm.
if you do get that opportunity and you are on a professional broadcast, you do get that, that 5 seconds of fame where they throw the microphone in your face. What can
Mhm.
athletes do? What do you recommend they do? Is there a template that you have? What should guys do to really stand out and capitalize on that opportunity?
Stop thinking too much about what people think and the norms of like what you should say. Say like who you actually are. Like mean that shit like 100%. You know, like rather than trying to fake like, yeah, I trained hard for this fight. Thank you, my sponsor. Yeah, go promotion. You know, like generic. Like you got to be like Aaron. Best example I can say. He called out banging moms. See what that did for him. Like just that. Um, that goes everywhere in fighting. You gotta make some sort of standout if you really want to make it. The UFC doesn't look for talent as much anymore. They look for marketability and whole package. Who can sell the most tickets? Who can like actually put seats in the chair, people to buy pay-per-views? Oh yeah, this guy's a really good fighter, but does anyone know who he is? Like it could be a superstar. No one cares because no one follows him. Which that's what I'm doing now. I am like actively looking for the guys I see potential in. Like if I see these guys, like I'm only charging $150 for 90 days, and I let these guys even do payment plans. One guy could only pay me $12. I'm not in this for the money. I'm like really genuinely passionate and investing in building something that is gonna be like this middle ground for fighters that's gonna help them get to that level. Like not a manager. I don't want contracts. Managers are a scam because they don't get them sponsors. They take their money. I can get every single one of the guys in my group a fight anywhere in the world just because of this group chat and because of the reels I made. That's why I'm like so adamant on social media, because if you're not on social media, like you're not gonna go anywhere because it is literally the game now. And because of it, I have met people all over the world, and I'm working with promoters across the world that I'm making reels for. And now they're asking me for talent. Like, I'm trying to help these guys get that little stepping stone to go to these other places, especially as an amateur or even as a pro. Like, because the fight game's pretty brutal, and if you don't have those connections, you're just going to get brought in for the local hero to beat the crap out of you, which happens a lot where I'm at. Like all the local talent that thinks they're tough, I tell them when I coach them, this is a bad fight. This guy, there's no video on him, and he is 9-0, all knockouts. Probably shouldn't fight him. Then they go fight him, like my time, gets knocked out. Like I'm trying to help guys build that marketability so they're not being brought in like that. They're actually the guy that they're bringing people in for. That's
100%.
that's how you get money in the game. And you know, it's changed a lot. That's why like all these shows, like Jake Paul is best example. That dude took over boxing. Because of him, boxing is actually popular again. Nobody cared about the guys before because they're just gentlemen. It's like, yeah, we're good boxers. Like, I mean, the Bronze Bomber was pretty good. That dude was crushing people. Like, he had that scary knockout. But the character wasn't there. Conor McGregor really did it too when in his prime. That's the best example. That dude said everything, which is how I've always like lived my life too. Like I was a nerd back in the day, and I like scrawny wuss, but I'm very obsessive with things I like, and I started believing I was this fighter when I was like 14, wearing tap out, and obsessed. Like I remembered the gym that I was gonna go train at as soon as I turned 18 or 16, and it's like 609 Euclid Avenue. As soon as I turned 16, went there, and I never stopped. Like I was like training 2-3 times a day, skipping school, everything. When I was literally bullied, beat up, not athletic, but I studied everything fight related, and marketing related. Like because I knew I had to do something other than be the tough guy, because the tough guys are going to be the ones that would beat me up. So that's how I was able to do the things in my career, and now I'm trying to show fighters how to do that without being like the dumb tough guy broom. fighter that's just broke fighting still. You see it all the time, and some of these OG fighters, they're still fighting. There's no point. Like when they could have just promoted themselves online like Chael Sonnen did and start their own podcast. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different outlets for these guys, and I don't know. I'm just very passionate about the sport and helping people and helping these fighters I see potential in find who they are and actually like grow into it is really satisfying for me. Aaron's my best example. He has been frustrated the last month and a half because he hasn't been getting sponsors, hasn't been blown up, and I'm surprised you even brought him up. Like, yeah, he just blew up this last week, all from that one video that I was telling him to post like a million times. But he was all nervous. He didn't want people to like think up like, oh, that's cringe. You know, that's the biggest thing I have to tell guys. Like, stop worrying what people think, because the guys in your local area are always going to judge because they knew you when you weren't at that level or weren't trying to be something. But the guys outside of where you're at, they don't know who you are, but they just see what you're saying. So it's fake it till you make it. And then that's how I did it. Like, I don't get a single like or hit up by any local fighter. And there are a lot of local fighters where I'm at. But everyone outside of there, they're all hitting me up. I'm working with like professional fighters, UFC fighters, all these guys. And they trust what I'm saying because they don't know me from like when I wasn't there, I guess. So I'm really trying to change the game in this marketing aspect and help these guys make money in the sport and be the next Conor McGregor or something. Which the guys that are actually going into their brand, it's really cool to see. Like, it's almost like they find that confidence and then they start going with it and it just starts going. Like it's always the first few weeks. That's why I have them post every day and they start getting used to it, getting the hang of it. I help them with the editing stuff if they need it, but my main goal is to get them self-sufficient and understand how to actually market and promote, because nobody's going to sponsor you if you don't have that it factor. God forbid paying you more than like $500. They're never going to see it again unless you can show you can give them a return on investment. And that's why I have 4 sponsors now for all 140 something of the fighters in the group chat, also helping the guys and offering them like discounts on t-shirts, and if they promote well, they give them free stuff. You know, like you have to invest in a lot of these businesses first. They don't give out handouts right away. So it's a lot. With my brain just goes on. I'm super ADHD, but that's what, like, it's my superpower sometimes, but I also go too long as well. But I started 6 months ago, and this blew up from 1,000 followers to over 6,000 in like 6 months of me just being obsessive.
Right. I mean, I think that's the big thing is like you said, you said a lot here, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's wins and losses will open doors, but branding is going to keep them open. And you know, I mean, really good fighters are a dime a dozen, but the ones that really stand out are the ones that, you know, people know their name, and with that comes some value. So I mean, if you're interested in this sort of thing, if you're looking to kind of stand out, differentiate yourself, you don't want to just be another fighter. You don't want to be getting flown in to be fed to the local hero, that guy that sells 100 tickets and, you know, he's never going to the UFC. He's just coming in here to just eat up local guys.
Real quick.
Where can people find you online? How can they get involved? Who are the athletes you're working with? Plug away. Let's do it.
Oh God. Athletes. So my actual profile page, the name is the Milkman MMA. I tried changing it, but I verified my account to Evo Fight Media, so it's kind of my personal account that got swapped over. So it's Milkman MMA, but profile pictures, Evo Fight Team. Evo stands for like evolve. That's I'm trying to do like the whole evolution of the fight game type of stuff. Trying to think. I mainly just use Instagram right now because it's the best outlet for these fighters. And yeah, if they just DM me, I will message back as soon as I can. Some of the fighters I'm working with, who am I working with? Luis Pena, if you know who he is, Chase Sherman, Evan Elder. I have a lot of guys. I like some of the guys are overseas too, so I have a few Bellator vets, like some bare knuckle fighters, like 4 or 5 of them. The crazy part is the pro UFC guys have less sponsors than some of my amateur guys now, just because of the posting and marketing. That's my biggest key point.
That's like, a lesson for you guys right there. If you have any doubts, I mean that's case in point right there. The world is changing.
Yeah, they have 400 followers, but they're making 500 a month between 3 different companies paying them monthly direct deposit as long as they post their brand as like an advertisement. Then you get the guys that are in the UFC currently. They're like, I have no sponsors, maybe one. I'm like, well, that sucks. And you got to think logos on shorts and banners are obsolete. The UFC doesn't even allow that anymore. That's what I'm trying to like preach to guys. Anyone that posts that logo spot for their shorts or shirt, it's not going to freaking work, dude. It's not, that's like newspaper time. There's a reason UFC got rid of it. So once you get to the UFC, even if you have those sponsors, like you're not going to be able to promote them unless you're using social media. Like, because it's not going to be on their shorts in a fight because UFC doesn't allow it. So what's the whole game plan here? Like, get to the UFC, then what? You get no sponsors. But yeah, my amateur guys are hungry. They know, like, they're listening, and the UFC guys are like, oh no, I'm a fighter. I'm fighting this weekend. I mean, that's good. I mean, you got to train, but you got to show people what you're doing. You got to connect with them, you know? You're not connecting with your audience, building a fan base. You're just going to be washed up and sound like a broom in the future. You know, like talking to a broom with emotions. I know a lot of those local guys, the local UFC guys that fought a few times at UFC. They're like, yeah, I'm a tough guy, but no emotions. They're just like stoic. I was the only squirrely, nerdy guy in my area and the tough guy. Well, you know, Jeremy Stevens. I trained with him back in the day, too.
Yeah. Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. Jeremy
No,
Stevens.
see, that was a
Josh
good one.
Spear.
That was a good one.
That was
That's how you
solid.
differentiate yourself, Connor.
Hey, he's a straight dog, though, but he's that, like, I don't want to talk trash. Like, he's good at the dog fighting. I'm happy he got into bare knuckle, but UFC, it wasn't for him because he's tough, but that's about it. Like, he's tough and good. I'm not going to say he sucks in the dog, but the game's evolved. You can't be that guy. It's a game full of nerds now, like fighting nerds. You know those guys? Like, they're straight. Yeah, they're more of the educated striking system, which I'm a nerd with striking. That's you gotta be smart now. It's 2026. Learn how to use social media. I've had so many guys be like, oh, I don't like posting. It takes 30 seconds. I give them copy and paste highlight tips. Like, literally all they have to do is upload one training clip. Don't overthink it. If you overthink it, you're just gonna waste time. No one cares. You just gotta keep posting. Consistency is key to success. It's better to be posting something that's not professional than posting nothing at all and staying invisible, I guess.
Boom. Well, we'll end on that. I thank you for the time, Chance. If you guys don't know, now you know. Check them out. It's the Milkman right there. We're gonna go to a commercial break, but again, I thank you for the time, brother. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Likewise, man. Guys, get your following up. Adapt to the new world. We'll be right back.